This is like, you'll look into that and do on your own. Let me show you where you are. It says, right now, the following review assignment. These assignments are found in the back of the textbook. It says aqua blue. So when you look at the back of the book, it goes from like blue pages to purple to green. The blue pages are extra practice problems. So it's called extra practice here, and then like there's a little tab. Okay. So I've assigned all odd, so that if you go through these and you need a lot of help with them, you can still have a chance to go through like the even problems with like a parent or a tutor. So chapter 1 and 2, I'll give you until Monday to complete. Okay, so I would love to collect 1 through 19 odd tomorrow. Like I'm gonna go over the first chapter 1 answers tomorrow. And then purple Monday, but it's odd. So it's half that. So it's really not much more than I normally give. You know, and actually chapter 1 questions are considerably shorter than the problems we just finished, systems, you know. So you'll find that you'll have time for this, but I made it these flexible due dates anyway. So you can work on chapter 1 and 2. I want to check those on Monday. Chapter 3 and 4 I want to check by Wednesday. And the last one is the day of your exam, Friday. Your exam's next Friday. What's cool about Friday is you'll have like a short study hall in this classroom before the exam. Like right before, and that's kind of nice. So I'll go over these like in that short, I think it's like a 30-minute study hall. I think they give us like 2 hours. Yeah. Normal days. Of the next week, I think he was saying. Yeah. So your exam is just a 2-part exam on a Chromebook right here. Just like your benchmark. It's on a Chromebook. It's a lot like that quarter 1 benchmark we took. So right now I'm gonna pass out a pretty thick booklet of questions. That's for all the classes to use, so you can't write on it. So you're gonna do this in your notebook. Don't break this baby stapler when drop it. Pass this baby stapler around like it's a real baby. Don't drop it. Oh, I'm gonna drop it. Just like my mom did. What is that? Yeah, it worked. One stapler will go through.
These are our papers, dude.
This is like a practice exam. This is different than the textbook work.
If you would listen to you want to.
This isn't for you to keep. I couldn't print these. on this is found in Schoology right now. I put this document. So if you have a tutor or a parent that really wants to sit down with you and do math,
Give me the stapler.
if you have your own stapler, okay. So I'm gonna trust you a second period right now to, in a very clear, legible way, write on here. Do not write on this. Do your best. So at the top of this, do not write on this. You may not keep this. This is a class that, this is right now posted on your Schoology course. If you want to print this in the media center or at home, I don't know the rules about printing in the media center. This is a pretty thick document, but you can print this at home. Or if you have a tablet or something, you can pull up some comments there as well. All right, so you guys, go ahead and once you're stapled and ready to go in your notebooks, do numbers 1 through 4. You're gonna read them to yourself, make your best effort. I'm gonna read them and go over them. We're just gonna take it chunk by chunk. The very first set. Yep, it's words, so you kind of got to be quiet, read it. You're doing this directly in your notebook. Exciting, I have a phone call. I mean, I can't read anything. You guys are talking too much. Come on, we need to read. It needs to be quiet in here. Should we just go one at a time? It's giving you 4 problems too much. You guys look really unmotivated. Okay. What did I just do? Didn't need to. Okay, as a favor to her friend, Natasha worked 7 hours at a diner for 10 hours last week. Period. Already my mind is thinking about the number 70. She also makes $8 an hour when she babysits. She wants $206 for a prom dress. Create an inequality. Okay, so inequality is a word that I would underline, and you guys know you have those underlining tools in the Chromebook. Inequality, I'm going to think, okay, well that means I'm using a symbol like this. I'm not writing an equation, I'm writing this. No, you guys are taking notes in your notebook. Title this in your notebook. Algebra 1, Semester 1 Exam Review. Number 1. These problems are broken down by standards. So, like, these first 4 are chunked under this official standard. And then the next 4 are under this standard. This is how we're proving that we're teaching you the standards that the state wants us to. Create inequality to show how many hours she must babysit. So it sounds like she did 7 hours at $10 an hour. Like I said, I just want to write 70. Also, $8 an hour when she babysits, but it doesn't tell us how long she babysits. Do you guys want to do like a B or an X here? B for babysit or X for usual? Okay. She wants $206 for her prom dress. So if it said equation, I'd be good to go with an equal sign, right? But it doesn't. It says inequality. Put one in, guys, before I do. Write this down and you decide which symbol goes here. Think, yeah, keyword inequality. So, she wants to buy her dress. Her dress can't cost more than what she has. So the amount she's earning has to be greater than or equal to 206. How'd you guys do? Anybody write the right symbol? Okay. Think about this. Okay, so if it's something that the person wants to purchase, and then this is like income, or this is what she has, or how much she has to work, she's gonna have to bring to the store more than the dress costs. Okay. So whatever the income is or the amount that they have has to be more than whatever it is they want to buy. Okay. Number 2. Notice it doesn't say you have to solve, right? This is going to be a question where you have to either type in that inequality or it's multiple choice. Okay. So move on. You don't have to solve it. Number 2, George makes $5 per autograph A. Says to use the letter A, not X. And $8 per hour as an actor. Cool. George is cool. He needs $730 for rent. Create an inequality to show how much he needs to have enough for rent. You guys try this one.
Dude, why are you obsessed with my?
Did you get your test yet? Oh. Are they going in by report cards or whatever? Alright, 5 times the number of autographs he does, plus 8 times C, his acting. $730 for rent. That's rent, and this is income. Alright, pretty much the exact same question, right? Your income has to be more than your rent, or somebody's going to kick you out. There you go. Number 3. That's it. Number 3. Yeah. Notice it doesn't even say solve. So you're just matching. You're matching a word problem to writing inequality from scratch. You're gonna like maybe feel like that because we're going back to like chapter 1, 2, 3, and we just finished chapter 6. Did you write either inequality by yourself, Jake, before I did? So I actually think solving is easier than coming up with the problem, right? Like you're probably aching to solve that first one. Subtract 70 divided by 8. That's actually easier than coming up with the inequality yourself. So I wouldn't say this was easy. Try number 3 by yourself. Alright, the water under a bridge was 15 feet deep at midnight. As the tide went out, the water decreased at a rate of 0.025 feet per minute. Write an equation that can be solved to find t, so make sure you use t and not x. The time in minutes it took the depth to reach 13 feet. How many minutes does it take to reach that 13-foot depth? So this one you actually have to solve. Okay, who can write the equation? You think you got it, Dominic?
I didn't get the equation.
Oh, you don't have the equation? We have an answer?
I might know the equation. I guess I kind of.
We'll try it, yeah.
15 minus 0.025 t. I guess it equals 13. No, inequality, Dom. Don't do an equation. Yeah, look at you.
He's
Now
right.
you're stupid. Now you look stupid. Get over there. What? I thought it was an inequality.
Look, this
Equation,
one,
yeah.
this one says equation.
Look at back there. Yeah, for real. Libby, sit over there with your girls, right?
Okay, so another word I wish I would have highlighted is the word decreased. You know, make sure for decrease to use the subtraction, not an addition. So great job, Dom. You guys go ahead and solve it. This one actually says, how many minutes does it take to reach 13 feet? So go ahead and solve it. Tyler has an answer for it. What did you do first? So this is a positive 15, so we would subtract it from both sides. Okay, what'd you do next? So Tyler, can you state your answer in a complete sentence?
Holy crap, that's working.
I was just gonna ask about like people in boats and fishing. It takes 8 minutes for the water.
Is there a tsunami coming?
I don't think that's that inaccurate.
2 feet.
Oh, this is 80.
I was about to say.
Oh,
that
okay.
makes more sense.
Patrick knows his boating. It's like 80 minutes. You feel better about that?
Yeah.
He said there was a tsunami coming. That is funny because the tsunami would suck the water out and then slam it back in. Yeah. So in 80 minutes, so that's an hour 20 minutes for 2 feet. And then is that like probably as much as the tide is 2 feet? Or 2 feet a lot for a tide to change? 4 feet. Whoa. 2 more hours of it.
That's like a spring time.
Okay. Number 4. Oh, I love this one. I know we did this consecutive. I know I did this consecutive word. You got 3 friends. They are consecutively 1 year apart. You guys remember what consecutive means? Yeah. Yeah.
I never learned. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you were. I did a lot. So, like, consecutive means right in order. So, remember to look on this side. You're talking about this 15?
No, I'm talking about.
That's division.
Oh, division.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for asking. Good question. Okay, so they're consecutively 1 year apart. That means if I'm 14, my friend is 15, and the next one's 16. We go right in a row. Together, their total age is 48. Write an equation that can be used to find the age, where X represents the youngest friend. How old is the oldest friend? So, some of you guys did this like through logic and reasoning, but you can't just come up with the ages. You have to show the equation. So the first and youngest friend is called X. Okay. His friend is how many years older than him? 1 year older. So his friend is x plus 1. And then the last friend, who is the oldest, how many years older is he?
2.
X plus 2. Now all of their ages together is 48. This is a consecutive integer problem. Now do you remember x plus 1, x plus 2?
Yeah.
Anybody? The first one, the next one, the next one. Some of y'all do. I do. Add your x's together, combine like terms.
And then you subtract, or like, you combine all like terms and subtract like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 3 x's, 3 people total. And we'll combine the 1 and the 2. So I don't know like which answer would show up on the exam, if it would be this one or this one. You know, these are equivalent. No, I think some of them might be fill in the blank, but they have those multiple pick ones that like so many people get wrong. So like they might have check all that are true, you know, and you'd have to check this line and check this line because they are equivalent. So those questions should take you a really long time because you have to like check every option they give. Looks like 15. Am I right?
So the oldest one is 17.
Yeah. So 3x 45. The youngest kid is 15. And the next one will be 16. Oh, and the question is that I like how you said that. The actual question was, how old is the oldest friend? So probably a really common right answer would be people just to give 15 as an answer. But the oldest friend, the next one is 16. The oldest would be 17. All right, so all of those were in a standard about reading a word problem and writing the equation or inequality. Let's go to the next one. New topic. Reading a graph. This is the length of the room in feet versus the length of the room on a blueprint. Do you guys know what a blueprint is?
Yeah.
Floor plan.
The official model.
So it should be like perfectly proportionate, right? So anybody have a strategy for this?
My strategy is get the answer from God. I don't like that strategy. He's the highest IQ person in such life, but yeah, I appreciate your thought.
So it just wants us to write a proportionate?
Yeah, it says write an equation.
Oh. So it's going to say.
Oh, my pencil.
Oh, so it's a it's the scale size.
Mm-hmm. Also looks like a direct variation equation.
Yeah.
So do you guys remember direct variation? This would be the slope here. Okay. So I'm thinking y equals k times x, but it's the length of the room equals something times v. So what's the slope here, guys?
Oh, 5 over 2.
5 over 2.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a tough one. Hopefully. But multiple choice, I think you guys could do a little better if that was multiple choice. All right, now slope intercept form. Go ahead and remind yourself, slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Find your intercept, find your slope. You guys go ahead. Do these. Circle the y-intercept, and then count the rise over 1.
Yeah.
So do you need to, as you're doing this, highlight important things like thumbs up if you know when you read slope intercept form that you should do this. If you don't, you need to get a highlighter out, and when you study. So Friday before your exam on our study hall, you can flip right through your notebook and see things highlighted, right? I would write slope intercept form and highlight this.
How do we know number 1 and number 2 are the same, like, format of equation? Say it in Oh, because 2 says slope intercept form.
Yeah.
How do you know 1 is direct variation?
Because they went through 0, 0.
Oh.
Okay, so technically, I could have put plus 0 here.
Oh, yeah, because slope intercept form has a y-intercept.
Mhm. Okay. All right, let's hear from somebody who has not given an answer yet.
I gave him multiple answers. What's your answer? Back in 1968.
Who wants it? Okay.
Who wants it? And you? I'll get 1 over 2. Tell McKayla.
There you go. Great job. Up 1 over 2 is your slope. You got your x by your slope, and yeah, careful about that minus. All right, who thinks they can do the other one, Lauren?
Y equals negative 2 over 1 x plus 2.
Good job. It goes down 2 over 1. Starting at 2. Okay, so right now, if you're not sure about that, you need to write yourself a note. More practice on slope intercept form from a graph. You know, you're like making yourself a study guide. Okay, so graph the following lines. Are these in slope intercept form? They are not.
No.
So there's a different strategy you're supposed to use. Okay, you could reorder them. And you will have enough time if you want to reorder them. But there's a second way that we practice graphing. Can anybody remember it? I'll give you a clue. It has to do with zeros.
Oh, it's the 5x subtract 0.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. So in standard form, they're trying to see, can you find intercepts?
Oh, you plug 0 into x
Mm-hmm.
and y.
Yeah.
And notice that this question only says graph. They don't give you any indicators that that's the best way to do it, but it is. So in standard form, ask the graph. That means we're going back to when we plugged in zeros for intercepts. So you want to find the y-intercepts. Since it's not in slope intercept form, you have to plug in x equals 0. And then you do it again. Plug in y equals 0 to find the x-intercept. And students just get so mixed up with slope intercept form and doing this. There are 2 different ways of graphing. So I'm going to do 5 times 0 minus 3y is 15. You don't have to write necessarily all those steps. Some of y'all jump right to this bottom one. Draw a quick sketch. So this means y is negative 5. So I have a point at 0, negative 5. Remember we talked intercepts have zeros. I'll do it again, but the 0 goes in the other place.
Can we just write the order points? Do we have to order pairs? Do we have to graph? We have to graph.
I definitely think you need to graph them. Like, do a mini graph, okay? It doesn't have to be a big graph. You can do
just do like an L.
You can do a little baby graph.
No,
An
there's
L.
negatives. Because there's negatives.
Do a little T. Doesn't have to be like the fanciest graph you ever made in your whole life.
Yeah, Don.
But I just practicing remembering these type of graphing. Okay, did anybody do the algebra of getting y alone and graph slope intercept for?
I think so.
Yeah. So the secondary way of doing this. I would have subtracted 5x over negative 3y is negative 5x plus 15. I would have divided by negative 3. This is how I did it when I was in your shoes. I never remembered to do intercepts. I did this every time. Okay. So if you don't plug in zeros, you can still come up with answers. Getting y alone and putting it in slope intercept form. And maybe this will click with you that this graph matches that one perfectly. It starts at negative 5. And the slope is up 5 over 3. So intercepts and slope intercept form are equivalent. Just two strategies of creating a graph. Which strategy do you like better? Plugging in zeros or slope intercept form? Let's do a thumbs up if you like to plug in zeros. Let's do a thumbs up if you like slope intercept form rearranging it. Just a couple of y'all. Alright. Do the next one. Letter B. You guys want to race? Which we're doing around the world. Have you guys ever played around the world?
Yeah.
Like since elementary school? Wait, what is
That was so fun.
like you put up a question and then like two people race and the first one that's done puts their paper up and then you check it. And then if that person wins, the next person and they can keep going until they lose and they try to get around the classroom.
I never even got close to winning that.
Maybe we can do that later in the week with like random review.
I had to start crying.
Like the winner keeps going and tries to like face off against everybody.
I would never lose.
That's just a lie. Yeah.
Tom, it's not confidence, okay?
You have no confidence.
Do you want to do me?
I don't mind.
Skip it. Feel good about this? That's good enough?
I think we can skip that.
Who's doing it? You already did it? Okay. I'll throw the answer for everybody who already did it. It would be, 0 here. Negative 2x equals 8. X is negative 4. And then it would be a 0 in the other spot. And y equals positive 4. This review will only work as long as you're motivated to do it, right? So I can like keep running through these problems, but as I see more and more people like just stop, I'll start to, you know what, this review won't work if you're not doing it.
I don't know.
It's a pretty big booklet too, right?
Yeah, I'm brain.
Yeah, we've only done 6 problems.
Really?
Alright.
6 out of what?
I've never counted all the way through. I don't like how it's numbered. But I didn't make it.
Oh no.
This one looks very interesting about Sarah and Belle. Does anybody know any named Belle?
Yeah. Aaron Bell.
Does anybody know anybody named
I know a person named Sarah.
more Sarahs than a Belle?
I just on the
You got Bill and Ted. Excellent adventure. Write an equation for the following relationships. This is not multiple choice with an exclamation point. Sarah's, well, is that true about the Bill and Sarah that you know? Is the Bill older than the Sarah? All the Bills I ever knew have passed. That name is probably going to come back when you guys are parents. They cycle. They cycle. It's short for William. Oh, we know a Bill right here. Oh, Will, not Bill. Do you like a parent named William or a grandparent? Do they go by Bill? So Dominic. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go. Sarah's age is 7 less than 2 times Bill's age. So the first thing I like to look at is the word is. Libby, what does is mean in our equation? What symbol is? She got it. She said equal. Sarah equals 7 less than 2 times Bill's age. So less than is such a stumper. It could mean like a less than symbol, or it could mean subtraction. If it's less than 2 times Bill's age, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 times Bill's age minus 7. She's really not that much younger than him. Okay, let's see. Let's say Bill was 40.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, 5, bro.
Sarah's actually older than Bill.
Yeah, because it's 2 times Bill's age.
Yeah, I keep looking at it. Sarah's older than Bill. The volume of a figure is 1/3 the total.
We don't know.
We're not solving. We're just looking at the relationship. We're just writing. It says write an equation. And the reason they're saying that this is not multiple choice here is that you're going to have to type this in a blank box. So they give you no clues. The volume is 1/3 the total. So you guys remember is. So I would do V equals. Is like a great jumping off point. Volume is. How do you show 1/3? It's a fraction. 1/3 the total. Volume is 1/3 of the total. The base B of the isosceles triangles is 6 more than 3 times one side length. If I stop, will you guys please try to write something down? Please. Let's see. Please, I'm going to stop. You try it. You go ahead and try C and D, okay?
Whoa.
I'm just going to sit down and wait until you got some people right.
I still want to find out how it goes. Dom, you know how it goes? No. We told Bill.
I don't know.
What? How? How old's Sarah though?
That's how old Bill is.
What? How old is Bill? How old? No, bro. Bill's 57.
He's going after gilfs, bro.
What did Bill have for lunch on Thursday? Man, that's such a lie. She's pulling stuff out of her butt. She pulled stuff straight out of his hand. Just reached in the bag and pulled stuff
Oh,
out.
Bill? Bill's 5
So,
foot.
24 and 12.
Guess who else is 24?
You guys,
Bill's
who
5
cares about
foot.
Bill? Let's talk about base. Base is.
Here's
Did
about
anybody
Bill,
do
talking
it?
about base.
Gabe, you got it? Let's see, Lita, what'd you get? Okay.
That's
thank
actually
you.
what I got.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I'll literally come
D,
over
Tom signs up for a phone plan that has a bill of 15 per month plus. I can't see the order on my screen. What is it? 50? Five.
5.
All right.
Per gig.
Gabe, you do this one.
I got X equals 15X plus 5B.
No, that's a grown man.
This is stadiums. I put Bill equals or maybe Y equals 15. Oh, you guys did some monthly bill. I gotta read it.
Man. Made me erase the whole equation.
So this is how you would write it for 1 month only. It's the 15 plus the 5 times the G.
5G.
It doesn't say like, if it said how much would it be in a whole year, then we would put, no. So the per month is not in the equation. Let's move on. Good job, guys. We got one page done. That's pretty good.
That was a good one.
Hey, stop. We're not done. You guys, let's do 2 more and then you can back up. I wanted inequality.
I already have a disability in my head.
Let's do 1 more and then you can pass this forward. One more.
Can we not do the Bart one? Who named their kid Bart? I've been waiting 9 months with the kids to name him Bart. Barely.
Alicia or Brianna, can you do number 1?
That's rubber slash.
Alright guys, that's our third inequality we got. You better get those right.
Wait, are we solving this one?
Does it say to solve it?
I think.
No.
How much you can spend?
It just says right inequality.
Oh, it's a stuff.
Stop. This is wrong.
Wait, what?
What?
Stop. This is wrong.
Because it looks right. Because the inequality sign should be the other way. Equals. That's what I said.
Oh, the other way?
I looked at the equation and thought through it.
I'll give you one.
You want to come? I know you
Put my bag with it out of it. Okay? Like nothing in there. Feel with it. It is such a difference.
Okay.
I can feel such a difference.